All right, guys, we're under the hood of Big D's JT right now. We're going to show you this 6.4 Hemi. It's a 500 horsepower Hemi that was swapped in here with an 8 HP 75 transmission. We're under the hood. We're going to show you a few things here. So on this Hemi swap, the washer jug used to be in this location here. It's been moved back like a diesel back in here to accommodate the room for this intake system. And what this did is give a little more space under the hood, so if he wants to add any accessories later on down the road, he can. But let's move over here to the battery. I'm going to show you these two humongous cables here going to some McMahon fuses, and Matt's going to let us know what these are powering, as well as a few more other accessories that he added at his shop while working on this Jeep.
So these battery runs are running to the rear. This thing's got a real extensive audio system in it. We did individual runs. We've got a 6-channel audio control amplifier, and that's running all the mids. And then we've got a single sub amp running a JL shallow sub under the rear seat. Nice little accessory switch here for under hood lights.
On the front of the Jeep, we utilized the factory front bumper and took off the wings that kind of extend out in front of the tire. It's got factory LED system, so we used Vision X Canon CG2 lights on the front bumper hooked into the factory auxiliary switch. We have the Rockyer 4x4 Big Hoss Fairlead, as well as a Factor 55 Flat Link E, which has been powder coated custom to match the tow hooks as well as the wheels. This one is running a Warn Xeon 12S winch, and it also has some other stuff that you have not probably ever seen, because I know I haven't, and that's this equipment right here on the front of the Jeep. And I'm assuming these are sensors of some sort. We'll let Matt tell us about those.
Yeah, so this thing's got a Max CI 360 radar detector system on it. It uses front and rear radars, as well as individually mounted laser jammers, and that's what you're seeing on the front there.
And that's what we also saw on the back of the Jeep near the tow hooks as well. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So
Matt, tell us about these seats. What do we have here?
So this is Relicate leather. This is their distressed brown with a solid. This sewed up really complements the exterior color. He wanted something that you couldn't get out of a kit. Something specific for this Jeep. So we put it on the seats, we put it on the dash.
This dash looks incredible.
This whole truck was gunted front to rear. It's got 2 layers of sound deadener in it as a base for the audio system.
What do we have up here on the dash?
So we got a ham radio up here. This is a Vector dash rack system. He's got a nice holder for his cell phone, display for the ham radio, and then we've got a couple custom speaker pods that hold JL C7 components. It's also got 6.5-inch components, woofers in the dash and the stock location.
And that's what, down here?
Correct.
Okay. And then I guess this is the mic for his ham radio.
For the ham radio. The ham radio body itself is hung underneath of the passenger seat, so it slides with the seat. Then it also has an external speaker under there as well.
And under the back seat, man, an incredible leather covered box. Matt, tell us about this.
So it's a single JL 10 TW3 shallow subwoofer, custom ported enclosure. The box was built specifically for this job. Sounds fantastic, great response. You can also see there's a blue cable stuck up behind there. That cable runs to the 6-channel amplifier, which is our DSP in this unit. That's how we go in with our laptop, and we can control time alignment. We can control all frequencies, crossovers, equalizers, and everything to get it dialed in right.
Yeah, so this Jeep was equipped with the factory headliner. Looks really nice, kind of breaks up all that white in the ceiling. Makes it a little bit quieter, more comfy too. This is the Lightner forged bed rack. He opted for a few accessories here. We can have a high lift mount. It's mounted to the inside rail of the rack on this side. And over here we have a couple of gunmetal max tracks with a mounting system that mounts on the back of this box. So this box is the extra wide version. They make several options here. You can get one that's about half that width, but this one we figured, since you've got a blind spot here on the driver's side, it'd be a good place to put a lot of storage. And what's cool about this rack, if you want to carry something in the rear, you have some adjustable knobs here. You just loosen these two knobs up and you can slide that forward. Say you needed to pick up a new washer or dryer or something like that. But this thing is incredible. It's been a joint effort with Morgan's Auto Trim and Rock Your 4x4. We did most of the powertrain, wheels, tires, suspension, and some of the aftermarket accessories. And then Matt took care of interior, the radar system, the stereo. He had this application of the graphics done, which was, I think, Great American Sign Company in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is an AEV 2.5-inch dual sport XT suspension, and it's been upgraded with a ton of Metal Cloak components like their control arms, track bars, Steer Smart steering. So this Jeep had roughly 200 miles on it when we got the Jeep. Basically, he picked it up from the dealership and brought it directly to us. And it's a joint effort between Rock Your 4x4 and Morgan's Auto Trim to get this thing where it needs to be and where it is today. We have approximately 1,000 miles on the Jeep now, and it drives superb, sounds incredible, has a ton of creature comforts, and I mean, it just turned out great. All right, so now that we have this thing nice and dirty, let's talk about this paint protection. So this thing went over to Ceramic Pro of Knoxville, which is also, I think, SoCal Detail. And tell us what they did, Matt, to the paint.
So it's got premium shield on the whole thing. This truck's going to be used as a ranch truck. He's got some property, and the whole thing, he's going to use it as a truck, and he wanted to take care of it. So the whole thing got wrapped in premium shield paint protection film. And then it was also ceramic coated on top of that. So
I mean, you can see it in the paint how well it's reflecting, and it looks like a mirror.
All the windows received a ceramic film on them.
One thing we failed to mention is, well, we talked about powder coating of the wheels. These wheels are AEV Bora beadlocks, and they've been stripped down and coated a bronze metallic. And these are not true beadlocks. They have beadlock capability, but this is a protection ring, just to kind of help fend off rocks and dirt and trees and stuff. And if they get all marred up, he can replace those pretty easily. And we put some grade 8 zinc plated hardware in there because the factory hardware is a gray coated bolt, so it just kind of gives it a nice look.
Something else on this, all the factory graphics, the Rubicon lettering on the hood, trail rated badge, and the Jeep logos on the side, all those come red from the factory. The customer was really unhappy. The red kind of brought out the purple in the paint, and so we put together something. The wheels, the tow hooks, all the powder coating work was matched, as well as the outline on the lettering, Jeep logos. All that brings out the burgundy in the paint rather than the purple. It really complements it well. It's not something you're going to see very often, but it works here.